Welcome back to Light Breakfast Chats with Shayla and
Amy.
so this is episode 3. Episode 1 and 2 are already out. If you haven't watched them, go watch them. They're very
Yay.
interesting. I think the second one is longer than the first one, but yeah.
But it's good.
Yeah. So go watch them if you haven't watched them yet. So episode 3. How are you?
You were so awkward when we first start. Sorry for the awkwardness.
Because we don't know how to start.
We're still learning.
We're still getting to know this.
Okay. So I've been good. Okay, so we started our podcast with what made us happy this week. If you want, you guys can leave us comments of what
made you happy. Yeah, what made you happy this week?
Exactly. Leave your comments.
Yeah.
It's okay. Let's move past this, please. Shayla, what made you happy?
What made me happy this week? Well, this week, I think it was actually last week, but I'm gonna use it for this week.
Mhm.
I got a new car.
Yay!
And it's really cute. I'm still thinking of the name.
You still name your car?
Yeah, I want to name this one. The last one that I had.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Did you name the last one?
I didn't because it just didn't feel like it needed a name.
The one before that had a name.
The one before that had a name. It was Ricardo. It was a 2004 Honda Civic.
Named Ricardo.
Ricardo. This one I think I do want to name it. I feel like it's a boy. But I'm still thinking of the name. I have some options. Well, I haven't thought of any options, but the name Rodolfo was given.
I don't like Rodolfo.
I think
for your car.
I'm thinking something with like an R, because my first name is Ricardo.
But Ricardo flows, I feel.
Yeah, Ricardo.
And it sounds like a car name.
Yeah. So I'm still thinking if it'll have a name or if it won't, but we'll see. But that made me happy. Yeah. What made you happy?
I think I have 2 things that made me happy. The first thing that made me happy was I got a bonus at work that I was not expecting. So that made me really happy. It's extra cash that I was not expecting.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Planning with. So that was that.
Is that why you want to go on a trip now?
Yeah, I feel like I have so much money now. Made a huge difference. No, I mean,
that's always nice.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, especially when you're not expecting.
That's what made it nice. Like when I saw the email of that I was gonna get the bonus, like I don't know, I just felt so happy and cheesy. Like I didn't know like
that was
what to say or what to respond.
Yeah.
So it made me really happy.
That's good.
And it just goes to show que tu trabajo no está de balde.
Mm-hmm.
O sea que the effort that you put in, like if you have good people that you work with, se van a dar cuenta y te lo van a recompensar.
Yeah. It's being seen.
Yeah.
That's always nice.
It is, yeah. And the second thing that made me happy was God. God made me really, really happy. Now, the fact that I just feel like that He yearns for us, makes me really, really happy because I was talking to a friend and he was just telling me about how he felt that he like wanted a relationship with God.
Yeah, that's good.
And it was something that like cuando me estaba contando la historia, it was something out of the blue.
Yeah.
So ese sentimiento que él sintió para mí es que viene de que Dios lo está buscando.
Mm-hmm.
So it made me really happy. También I have a cousin who started going to church, también seeking that relationship with God.
Yeah.
Made me really happy.
Yeah.
Motivates me. Motivates me to también pues saber que Dios yearns for you y te busca, pero también me motiva también a buscar más de Dios.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's so nice when like your family actually starts like trying to like living in the same thing in the same atmosphere that you're living in, it always brings joy to your heart, I think, too.
And it's joy, porque aparte es happiness, to be happy, y aparte es to be joy, like to be joyful, like es una sensación bien diferente.
Yeah. So that's so good.
Fulfilling.
It's fulfilling. No, that's nice. So, topic-wise, right?
Topic-wise, yes. Our episode 3 is growing up bicultural.
Yeah, growing up bicultural. So I gave this idea. Well, I think I came up with this idea. Right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So because I don't know if it still is. It might still be Hispanic Heritage Month. So both of us are Hispanic, and both of us have had like our culture in one way or another impacts us in the way that we live, in the way that everything that we do, I think is impacted by our culture. And so we both love being Hispanic too, I think.
I do. A lot. I enjoy it.
So I kind of wanted to talk about like what that felt like, what it felt like growing up, like different stages of our life, like how it was impacted by being Hispanic. Because I think it's important. And I think that like being a minority, like in this country, like it's easy. Well, not so much now, but I mean in the past, like it was easy to just like,
push it to
aside or just group all of minorities into like one little group. But I think each of us like bring something different to the table. So this is what we bring to the table. Yeah. So I guess we can start with where we're from.
So we're both Guatemalan.
We're both Guatemalan, and I just want to like rep right now. I'm wearing a I don't think you can see it on camera, but I have a little turtle here. This is Guatemala. So yeah.
So I just said we're both Guatemalan, right?
Yeah.
Which is another thing that can be like controversial.
Yeah.
Type of thing, I think, because like
technically,
I identify myself as Guatemalan, and the reason I do this is because what's inside of me, like my blood, is Guatemalan.
Yeah.
Like both my parents are Guatemalan. I know I was born in this country, and I'm American because I was born in this country. But in sí, I feel que yo soy Guatemalteca. Yeah. So when people ask you like where you're from, I say Guatemalan.
Yeah, I think I say that too. Unless that it's from like, I think unless it's like a Guatemalan asking me or like somebody like Hispanic, then I feel like a little weird saying like Guatemalan because I technically wasn't born there. But I still am, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So I think that's like the first topic.
Yeah.
I guess like
how you identify.
Yeah, and there's this saying like if you're Hispanic, like it's like ni de aquí ni de allá.
Yeah.
Because it translates into neither here nor there. Because you really don't know where you're from. Like you fit sometimes here and then you don't, and then you fit sometimes there and then you don't.
Yeah, because like si tú estás hablando con alguien que es americano, nacido aquí, like you're too Hispanic to be American.
Yeah.
And then like cuando yo he ido a Guatemala, you're too American to be Guatemalan. Yeah. So like you literally feel like que no sos ni de aquí ni de allá.
Yeah. So yeah. So okay, so where you're from? You're from Guatemala. I'm from Guatemala. Where specifically?
So,
do you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my dad is from Zacapa.
Yeah.
And my mom is de Mazatenango.
That's good.
Yeah, they're kind of far apart. Like they met here.
Okay. Have you been to both of those places? I know.
I have.
Zacapa,
yeah. Like when I was smaller, I did go to visit where my mom is from, but as I've grown older, like the times that I've been to Guatemala, he ido más a Zacapa. Reason being is because majority of my dad's side of the family is in Zacapa, so like it just calls me.
Yeah. And the majority of your mom's family is here.
Yeah. So I don't really like. My mom has like cousins over there, but they're not like close family.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. For me, my parents are both from the city. I don't know where my grandparents are from, because my grandparents aren't from the city, but I don't know where they're from. So yeah, that's where I'm from.
And your parents met over there.
My parents did. Your parents didn't.
No, they met here. Yeah.
My parents met over there very young. My mom was, I believe, my mom was 15 or 16, and then my dad was 17. So they met. They were
young
teenagers. Yeah, that's crazy. But that's a story for another time. We can bring them in for that one. Yeah, that's a very long story. But yeah, so they met when they were very young. So where did you grow up?
I grew up in a town predominantly minority.
Yeah.
Yeah. Habían hispanos and then también
other minorities.
Yeah, other minority groups. Yeah.
I grew up. You're not asking me. You have to ask it back.
Oh, okay. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in okay, so now it's changed a little bit, I think, but now obviously I'm not in the school system, so I wouldn't know really what it is. When I was growing up, it was a predominantly white town. It had minorities, but really not that much. I remember my little group of friends were Hispanic, but I can't say it was predominantly Hispanic because I don't really think it was. Towards the ends of high school, yeah, like a lot of people would move here from where you. I was gonna say the name of the town, but I don't really want to put that out there. I think a lot of people started moving here from where you're from, and so yeah, but that was like towards the end of my high school years. But predominantly it was white, and specifically Polish, which was a different kind of like mix there. Yeah. So yeah, that's where I grew up. And how do you think where you grew up impacted you, or like what were the experiences that you had?
As I grew up, or where I grew up, I don't know. Yo me estoy tratando de acordar si cuando crecí, cuando crecí sí habían bastantes hispanos ya en el área. Yo creo que, yo creo que sí. So I feel like I wasn't really exposed to the American culture.
Yeah. Wait, I just want to do a little disclaimer here. Like, since we're talking about race and everything, like, literally anything that we say, if we say it not correctly, it's not meant to be offensive. Yeah. No, yeah. We're not meant to offend anybody. And we don't want to offend you. That is not where we're coming from. So I guess sorry if we do say anything that is offensive. But it's not our intention to offend. Yeah. Okay.
I lost my train of thought.
Oh, sorry.
What was I saying? Okay, so that I would say I wasn't exposed to the American culture until like later, until like I was older. I feel like probably in high school. When I was in high school, I went to a vocational school. So different people from different cities were going to
the school.
To the school.
Okay.
So I feel like I was in my little own bubble.
Yeah.
as a child.
As a child. Yeah. And do you went to? I think you told me that you went to a. How do you say? What's the word? A bilingual.
Oh yeah,
a bilingual school, right?
So yeah, when for kindergarten, I was put in a bilingual class. I think
sorry to add, was it bilingual? It wasn't ESL. It was bilingual.
I don't know. I'm trying to remember. All I know is that I was in a bilingual class. No te podría decir si era un ESL class or like, no sé.
Yeah.
Or like, what's the difference?
I think bilingual, because I know that there are some schools. I know because my Brandon was in bilingual school, I think in preschool, but it was an ESL. So like they just spoke both languages. But ESL is like the class is English as a second language, so it's the class that they put you in when you don't speak English to try to like make you
I guess I'm thinking it was more of an ESL class.
Okay.
Because for kindergarten I went to a certain school.
Okay.
And then after kindergarten they transferred me to another school. Still living in the same town.
Okay.
So I think I went to the first school because they had more support, I guess.
Yeah,
for English as a second language type of thing. And then me transfirieron a la otra escuela ya después de kindergarten because era la que correspondía to where I actually like lived type of thing.
And that's I think another point that we have like just to make a note of is that like both of us were born here.
Yeah.
But and I know like a lot of students or a lot of little kids, like I've seen it even now, like that they go into these bilingual classes just because like the first language that you're exposed to is Spanish, even if you live here. You know, I remember like, and we've talked about it, like at home, like predominantly is Spanish.
Yeah.
And so, like they're put in these classes, and it's like I don't think it's a bad thing. I honestly, if I would have had a choice to put, if I have a choice to put my child in like a bilingual class, I would want that because I would want them
to
learn it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just I thought.
No, yeah, definitely because definitely I was I'm the oldest, and cuando crecí o cuando estaba creciendo, o sea, lo que hablaban mis papás era mayormente español, so I wasn't really exposed to the English language until I went to school.
Yeah.
Y se ve la diferencia because my brother, él no tuvo necesidad to ir a una escuela o una clase that was bilingual or ESL class. Because I guess through me, he was exposed a little bit more to the English language. Yeah. So sí se ve la diferencia. Yeah.
Specifically, like, just because since your parents don't really know the language, like they may know it, they may know it, but they don't like, obviously.
Not to like a full extent, and obviously they're going to feel more comfortable hablando en español que en inglés because español is their first language.
And any interactions with the teacher too are going to be in Spanish.
Yeah.
So obviously you can communicate better about what's going on like with the child.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So that. And then and I don't know si fue por eso, but to this day I do feel that my first language is Spanish.
Really?
Like yeah, like
no, I believe that.
Porque me han hecho la pregunta like varias veces, like when you think, do you think in Spanish or do you think in English?
Yeah.
And I think in Spanish.
Really?
I do think in Spanish. Like especially if I'm doing math, I don't know, like hago las matemáticas en
Spanish,
en mi mente. Entonces, to this day, I honestly, even though I was born here, I feel like that my first language is Spanish. Yeah. I feel more comfortable. Aunque a veces en el trabajo me doy cuenta que tal vez me trabo un poquito. No sé si es porque ya en el trabajo y pues las palabras que se usan
are different.
Yeah.
¿Te trabas in Spanish?
In Spanish.
Okay, yeah, because obviously you're in the medical.
Yeah, so like todo lo que aprendí, o sea, los medical terms, como like expresarme lo aprendí en inglés, lo que se trata del trabajo. Entonces, ahora ya siento que sí lo estoy como traduciendo, siento que me trabo un poquito. Me doy cuenta.
Yeah. For me, I think I am English. It's my
I think so too.
It's our primary language. I'm trying to think for school. I kind of really said everything. Like
we had go back. Do you think in Spanish? You think in English then?
I think in English.
Okay.
I think in English. Occasionally, there are times where I want to say something, and it comes in Spanish. Like I think of it in Spanish, and then I'm trying to say it in English and I don't know how to say it.
And that's the thing about being bilingual. Siento yo que quiera o no uno se traba, aunque tú puedas saber los dos idiomas bien.
Yeah.
Especialmente en ciertos temas, en ciertos temas siento yo que uno se expresa mejor en español y en otros temas uno se expresa mejor en inglés.
Yeah. That's what we were talking about when we were trying to think of like how we were gonna like do this, right? And then like we came to the conclusion that it's for people It's for people who speak both languages because that's just how we are.
Exactly. Yeah, because I remember you were asking me, you were like, so are we going to do this in English or are we going to do this in Spanish? And then you were like, I think the first episode, it was majority in Spanish. And
last episode
was majority in English. So that's when I came to the conclusion that
it's both.
Y va a depender del tema.
Yeah.
Va a depender del tema in where we talk.
So we're sorry
if you only speak English
or if you only speak Spanish.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of us out there
that speak both.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which is nice, I think.
And that's exactly lo del tema.
Yeah, lo de hoy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Is growing up what is it? Bicultural.
Bicultural, yeah.
Okay. So I'm trying to think of my experiences in school were different than yours. Like I said, I grew up in a predominantly white town, but my group of friends were I want to say mostly Hispanic. Like los dos hablábamos los dos idiomas. Bueno, todos hablábamos los dos idiomas. And so yo me acostumbré en la escuela, like for example, that situation, like if I didn't know how to say something in English, but it came to me in Spanish, I would just say it in Spanish, like Spanglish, right?
Spanglish, yeah.
You know, but once I got to college, like it's predominantly like white, you know. Well, it depends on where you go too, but I went to a predominantly white school, and so like I found myself not being able to do that anymore. And I remember like being like, wow, this is like actually different now. Like I can't just, you know. And obviously there are like Latin communities and there are like people that are Hispanic that speak both languages, but I really didn't associate myself with them, mostly because I wasn't living there, you know, I was commuting. I really didn't I'm not like a huge like friend, you know, have a big group of friends, like talk to a lot of people. Like I'm really shy, I think. So,
I don't think, well, I don't know if la palabra
es shy.
Tal vez sí, because yo siento que you're not shy. You're not shy because
you think I'm not shy?
I feel like you can talk to anyone.
Yeah, that's true.
And like que puedes establecer una conversación. Yeah. Ahora, it's a difference if you choose to talk to people or not.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. I think I can. I think where I'm at now, like for school, like I'm able to like talk. Maybe it's just because I've grown up more too. That I feel like I am able to talk to anybody and like establecer una conversación con cualquiera. But like, yeah, it's more about choosing. It's more about choosing. So yeah.
Going back to el tema.
I'm trying to remember what I was talking about. Okay, so yeah, so I found that like a big shift, like kind of like not being able to speak both languages with the people that are around you. And then also, since we're talking like our experiences as children, like at home, our experiences were very different. Well, for me, like for the people who weren't Hispanic, like my experience at home was very different from everybody else. And even I think the people that were Hispanic, because my parents were just very strict. And I think that that's something that goes along with not all, but many Hispanic parents are very strict, and it's like the rule of like my house, my rules.
Oh yeah, that still exists. That's this day for me.
Yeah, no, me too. And like you're like,
and you're like basically hablando de ahora, you're basically an adult.
Yeah,
but they're like, no,
no,
not really.
No, yeah.
And I think that has to do a lot with the Hispanic community. Because yo a mi edad hablo con compañeros del trabajo, like specifically one que es un poquito menor que yo, y yo miro que es diferente la relación que tiene ella con sus papás que la que yo tengo con mis papás.
Yeah.
Like, a mí es la preguntadera, ¿a dónde vas?
Yeah.
¿A qué horas vas a venir?
Yeah.
Like, ya es tarde, que no sé
the
qué.
Calling,
the calling, the texting.
Literally, if my mom, like, if I don't pick up, or if she needs something from me, like, the spam will start. Nena, 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 nena. ¿Dónde estás, nena? Contéstame. Hola, hola, hola. And so I'm just like,
Yeah.
And you could be actually like really doing something and like not be like on your phone or something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So. I choose sometimes not to contestar, which is not so good because I just don't want to hear it. No, pero sí, por ejemplo, con esta muchacha que te digo, salimos un día like, a comer y, like, to chill, ¿no? Y yo me acuerdo que yo estaba de ver el reloj y ver que era como, like, ya se iba a acercar las 12, and then I was like, I told her, like, I have to be home at a certain time.
Yeah.
Y yo mirándola a ella, like, que ella no estaba ni preocupada. Y ella también vive con sus papás.
Oh, okay.
So ella, yo la miraba,
She was
chill,
fine.
man, she was fine,
Yeah.
nada, que ver. Y
Yeah,
no,
that's
yo
crazy,
sí
no.
pendiente de la hora, because, like, thinking si llego después de esta hora, o sea, me
They're
van a
gonna-
matar.
Yeah.
Yeah. A pesar de ser adulta, tener mi trabajo y
And everything.
everything, yeah.
Yeah, no, me too. Yeah, me too. I like going back to when I was in high school. Like I couldn't like yo veía que todos salían like you know
Mhm.
todos salían, right? Todos
Mhm.
salían, todas hacían sus cosas. But I like really didn't.
Mhm.
I really didn't. Because what do we supposed? And now I look back and I'm like, all right, I get it. Like we were really young back then,
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
16,
Mhm.
17, you know.
Mhm.
But it was just like very different because there was like a specific standard that you had to meet, like
Mhm.
with your parents or even in los grados, man.
Mhm.
Mi mami, esto depende, porque tal vez no todos son así, pero in my like in my experience, my mom was very strict on my grades.
Mhm.
In high school now, not so much, but she was very strict on my grades, and like if I didn't get like an A, like it was like what's going on?
Mhm.
You know, it was like the end of the world, and I'm like, mommy, like all of these people are getting C's, and like even like a B, like if I would get a B, like it was like the end of the world. So I think my parents were just very strict in that regard, compared to other people who
And
didn't.
I think que para mí, we talked, I don't know if you mentioned it, first generation.
No, we
Aquí,
haven't yet. Yeah.
So like my parents immigrated to this country.
Yeah.
Fui la primera en nacer acá. Obviously, las oportunidades que hay en estos países no son las oportunidades que hay
No.
acá.
Yeah.
So, siento que la mayoría de personas que vienen de otro país para acá, el enfoque es trabajar.
Yeah.
So, mis papás los dos, o sea, trabajaron. Y algo que siento que fue diferente en mí que tal vez de otras personas es que como mis papás se las pasaban trabajando, o sea, I didn't really have involved parents, se puede decir. Not because they didn't want to,
But because they didn't.
but because they couldn't, ¿me entendés? O sea, obviously, the lack of education en los otros países, o sea, y venir acá, o sea, los trabajos eran not the best, you know? Entonces, like, tenían que trabajar el doble, por decir.
To get like one person.
Exactly,
normal. Yeah.
So,
And not even then. Yeah.
So, siento que a mí, o sea, a la final todo tiene sus beneficios, ¿no?
Yeah.
Siento que eso me ayudó a mí a ser más independiente, porque me acuerdo que we talked about it, que llegaba a la escuela y si habían like papeles to sign, I would just sign them. like
Yeah.
it was just the easiest thing because either my mom was working or my dad was working, and then to translate the whole thing of
it was
like
too much.
Like,
Yeah.
what are you signing or
Yeah.
qué es esto? So I was just like, yeah, I mean, let me sign.
Yeah.
So eso también going to college, it was a whole different experience también para mí porque first of all, I had an amazing guidance counselor. Y yo no sé, I don't know to this day si ella no hubiera estado, like, if I would have even gone.
Yeah.
Because she's, like, helped me a lot con lo que son los applications and understanding a little bit, applying for financial aid, todo eso. Pero I didn't really have that support from my parents, por decir. Because, again, it's not their fault. They weren't exposed to that before. Like, ellos no saben cómo se manejan esas cosas. So, their help was limited.
Yeah.
So, it was like, I had to do it. Like, buscar la manera de hacerlo.
To do it. Yourself. Yeah. No, I had the same experience going to college. Like te contaba, like yo conocía personas that their parents would literally do everything for them, the whole process. Like maybe not the essay part, but literally the applications of financial aid, like everything, they had it under control. Like the kid just had to like say like this, and this. But like for me, it was completely different. Like, and it's scary because it's like a decision that you're taking like for the rest of your life. So everything kind of has to come out good, because if you mess up somewhere, like you can tal vez like no te van a dar la misma ayuda or something, right? Something can go wrong. And so like to be in that position, like thankfully my parents have been very, very supportive since I was a little girl, like to go to school, to like go to college, you know. But it's still like some things that you have to figure out on your own, because you don't know how the process is like. So I think that that's just very different that's just a different experience, right? That only if you go through it, you know.
Yeah.
You know what it's like.
Y yo no sé si es por lo del dinero and like the opportunities que tienen también son limited, like talking about our parents, pero siento que they like yo siento que sí creen en la educación, pero it's more of like you have to do it. Like, por ejemplo, it's not that sense of like I have to provide this education for them. Yeah, like yo siento que la gente nacida acá, o sea, like sí, ese es el enfoque. Like como parents, you feel like you have to provide for that. Like you have to like save up to provide the education for your children.
Yeah, there's even like ads like in the TV I would see when I was younger, like a college fund.
Exactly.
Like, what is a college fund?
Exactly.
What is the college fund? I don't think my parents were saving up for me. Thankfully, my parents have helped me through school, which I'm so grateful for. But like, I don't think they had a fund. I think it was like, tenemos que sacar de donde hay, and we have to pay this, you know?
Yeah.
And like, thankfully, like for my undergrad, I didn't take out, like, I don't have a lot left to pay off, like compared to some people. But I am like, obviously I know like if my parents can, they'll help, but if they can't, like I know it's my responsibility. Like the debt is there. Eventually I'm gonna have to pay it off. You know?
Yeah.
So I think that like the college fund, not a huge thing. And it's sad because we were talking about this too. I don't know, not specifically for this, but like it's sad when, because parents come here and immigrate to the country and it's like work, they sometimes don't push their kids to go to school.
Yeah.
And then that's when it's like, it's sad because obviously you don't need to go to school
to be successful. Porque ahora en día se escucha mucho de eso.
Yeah.
De que you don't need to go to school to be successful.
You don't need.
And that's true.
Yeah.
In some occasions. Pero
you're gonna be better positioned if you go to school.
Yeah.
And obviously you can start a business, but you can go to school and start a business on the side.
Exactly.
So
it's like a backup, por decir, like if your plan is to be una persona de negocios, right? Porque ahí es donde se ve el dinero. Pues sí, muy lindo, pero si no llega a funcionar,
I know, you still have this.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I think that's something that both of our parents kind of like nos inculcaron.
Yeah, they
right?
did. I did. Because even though I said like they weren't really there, por decir, like in terms of the time, like siempre like my mom would like say like how important education was.
Yeah.
Like que tenía que hacerlo y todo eso type of thing.
And I think to an extent it becomes some sort of like I don't want to say like a burden on your shoulders, but it becomes something that you kind of know that you have to do just because your parents came here for something.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, and I think personally that's an internal battle that I have a lot, specifically now being in law school, where it's like everybody, like, I don't even know if I should say this, but like everybody's saying like, wow, this is such a bad country. Like we're such like, there's so many things wrong with this country, and there are
a lot.
There are a lot of things wrong. Like, I'm not saying that there aren't, there are, but at the same time, like my life would be nothing compared to what it is now if my parents hadn't came to this country. Like it would be completely completely different, you know? And I think that a lot of that is like being Hispanic, like, and actually having the opportunity to go back and to see these places where your parents came from. It's like like, yeah, like there's a lot of things wrong with this country, but also like I'm going to school. Exactly. I have a house. I have food, you know? And it's like something that I think people who haven't been exposed to a different culture maybe don't see. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, yes, like there are problems. Like, I'm not saying there's not problems because I don't want it to be taken that way. But like,
that's what internally motivates you because you have a different background. Yeah. You came from a different place. Type of thing.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like at some point, it's not a burden. Yeah, but it's a motivator. Like to go to school to accomplish these things. Like because you know that if life were different, like you wouldn't have had the opportunity to do it. Exactly. You know, and it's being grateful that you are here. You know, and being grateful because even like for me, I still have family over there. You do too. I don't know why I said that. But for me, I still have family over there, and like, yeah, just like knowing that life would be different, like if they hadn't came here. So I'm obviously grateful. Yeah.
Y como tú dices, a mí también siento que eso es lo que me motiva a no querer o no poder conformarme con lo que tengo, because como tú dices, like they came here for a reason.
For a reason.
Exactly. So. Y también a mí, aparte de the culture, is being like the oldest. We talked about
that's
it
a
too.
different experience.
That's a different experience también.
I'm not the oldest. I'm the young. I'm the young little sheep.
Little sheep. Yeah. I mean, it's a different thing.
It's a different. So how do you think, like, I guess, because you said you think that being older like affects you more now than it did when you were younger, right or no?
Yeah, I did.
I don't think you said it here though. I think you said that to me.
I'm trying to remember.
No, but yeah. So like, por ejemplo, for those of you that don't know, there's like kind of like no sé si a stigma or a stereotype or un pensar, ¿verdad? Que the oldest of the family, usually it's women because I feel like women get it together a little bit faster than men. But it's like if you're the oldest, like you have so many more responsibilities, like no solo con tus papás, sino con tus hermanos.
Yeah, like yo siento que ahora, as an adult, siento que me ha afectado más, or like being the oldest is because my parents just have very, very high expectations for me, very high. And if I do something wrong, then it's like,
dang.
And like they like drill me for it, ¿entiendes? And then I feel like they're a little bit more lenient with my brother.
Yeah.
I don't know why. But yeah, that's. And I don't know. Do you think that's only like Hispanics?
Maybe not. I haven't been like exposed to like a different. Like I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I don't know if it's just Hispanics. Maybe not. I think the older one kind of gets the hit always of like stuff because like in my like I'm not the older one, but I know there are things that like my brother like kind of just has to
like you just
have to do it. Yeah. Like for me, I feel like I could still like
get away with little things. Yeah.
Get away with little things and everything. But obviously there are things because now like I'm the one that's living with them. So obviously there are still things that are expected of me, like living with them. Whether I do them is a different story. But yeah. So for me it's like not like for me it was difficult in the sense of like because I chose to go to school, like that part of it, like what I explained before. But like in just regular things, like translating things, like doing things for them, my parents haven't really asked much.
Oh yeah, I hadn't even thought about that part.
Yeah,
because yeah, I did most of the translation now that I Now that I think of it, yeah.
Yeah, when they had to make calls or when they got documents in the mail.
Yeah.
Or any like process.
Yeah.
That now I'm thinking like back to when I was so my grandparents well my grandpa became a citizen.
Yay.
So, but like thinking back to like that whole process and like with my grandma too, like how all of these documents are in English mostly. Ahora creo que there's translation, but I'm thinking like when my parents were going through that whole process, like who helped them? Because they honestly they didn't ask anything of me. I think when they were going for the process of their residency, like I think I was like 6. So también, how were they gonna,
ask you también?
Yeah. Well, there's some parents that probably do, but how is the kid gonna know, right?
Yeah.
So, but I'm assuming it's my brother, or they had to like seek help from somebody else.
Oh my gosh, y ahorita me acuerdo también de que, so yeah, desde chiquito te ponían to translate these documents, right? And then si uno no sabía cómo to translate them or cómo explicar, they would be like, ¿y no sabes inglés? But it's different because they're like, for these legal documents, o sea, obviously your vocabulary as a child is not there yet. Exactly.
What would you be like? I don't know.
I'd be like, I don't know. And then it'd be like, ¿y no sabes inglés? Pues.
Yeah. Why are you going to school for it? Yeah, man. And those are all things like, I guess that shaped us into who we are today.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't for those experiences, like, también cómo ibas like it helps you translate. It helps you learn the language better.
Yeah,
too.
definitivamente.
Yeah.
Y también like me acuerdo que it helps you like get out of this bubble or not to be so shy también. Porque ellos no sabían inglés, por decir. Like, I remember, like, my grandma would be like, anda pedí esto, anda haz esto. And then we'd be like, we don't want to. And they're like, but tú sabes inglés, so you have to do it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's, like, forced you to, like...
To get out of your comfort zone.
To get out of your comfort zone, exactly.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
All right, so we talked about higher education and how have our experiences shaped. I think we touched upon how our experiences have shaped us, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything in particular that you'd want to like say?
About how our experiences
shaped us. No? No. Okay. So our family life. We also touched upon this a little bit, I think before, but like how was our family different than I guess
other
families? Yeah.
Pues sí era eso de que like strict. As long as you live under my roof, this is what you gotta do.
My rules.
My rules. También creo que otra cosa. I think I talked about this. I don't know. Siento que como hispanos somos un poquito también más dramáticos.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Creo que that's how my experience. Yeah. I don't know. Definitivamente, and I was telling you que era por like tal vez viene de que la tanta novela,
I know.
De que you're so like I feel like I'm so dramatic compared to other people, ¿me entendés? Like everything is so huge. Like this little thing is so
big.
Huge.
Yeah, I think so too. I think I'm dramatic too. I think I am. Like literally something bad happens and it's like the end of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not, but
but yeah. So I think dramatic. That what else do you think?
I think that specifically, like you said like why, right? Because of Spanish TV.
Oh yeah, Spanish TV, las novelas.
Las novelas, like I think even as a little, like I didn't really watch that many growing up. I think I had like 2, and I'm talking like little. Like I remember being like,
¿Cuál era?
There was one called Destilando Amor. I don't remember. I'm trying to remember. Like I'm exposing my family right now. Destilando Amor. I don't remember. I literally have to go back to see when that was made to see how old I was to watch it. And then there were other ones. Like I liked when you know who William Levy is and Maite Perroni.
Oh, ¿cómo se llama?
She's the girl from Rebelde. You know who Maite Perroni is. Okay, so they did a lot together. I loved all of them. I used to love them together. Like I don't know why. I think they just had like good chemistry, I guess. Me gustaba. Yeah, and they weren't like I think they were also not too violent because there were some that were just like
wild,
crazy.
Aunque tan like compared to ahora en día.
Oh yeah, maybe probably not.
Not even.
No. Yeah,
nowadays,
I haven't.
Things are wild.
Yeah, I haven't seen. Now I haven't seen Spanish. I don't think I've seen.
I haven't seen recently.
I haven't seen. I think the last one I watched.
What?
Go. No.
No, I was gonna say I've grasped the American culture.
Oh, I know.
Now I watch Love Is Blind. Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy. Grey's Anatomy was dramatic too. I think. Though.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. Some episodes.
Yeah. Some episodes. Think what's going on. No, but now I forgot what I was gonna say.
Virgin River.
Virgin River. I have not seen that one.
I have. I liked it. Ahorita salió un nuevo season. I haven't really watched it, pero I think it was también drama. Igual drama.
But I like drama. But I think that's just a girl thing, maybe.
Maybe.
That we like drama.
So I haven't watched novelas.
That's what I was, so the last one I think that I watched, I don't know if it's considered a novela, but it's La Reina del Flow, like completely in Spanish.
Oh yeah, but that wasn't Netflix yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was so good.
Yeah. Eso sí lo vi.
It was so good. If you haven't watched it, watch it. I think they even have it in English too. It's called The Queen of Flow.
I think so, yeah.
The Queen of Flow. That sounds so cringy. The Queen of Flow, but it's good. Yeah. Like it's like about like the music industry and like it's just a love story, but it's so dramatic. It's crazy, but it's really good. But that's the last thing that I watched. In Spanish. I am not a huge fan of Spanish television just because I feel like sometimes like English is just better. Tiene más acción, like with movies and stuff.
I like watching movies and like my parents can like attest to this.
In Spanish?
In Spanish. Like yo busco las películas españolas.
Really?
Yeah. I do like I go to the like I think it's yeah, hay una sección en Netflix that you can choose que te tira like películas de otros países.
Oh, okay.
So I just
I like Spanish.
I do. I'm just a Spanish girl.
Nice. Yeah, no, I'm not a huge Spanish movie. Like I'll watch it.
Salir, I don't know if you watched it. I already watched it. In Netflix, la película Nowhere.
No,
I think it's really good.
Is it originally in English or in Spanish?
No, it's española. Like yeah.
Oh. Yeah, but like lo que a mí me cae mal de ver like no me cae mal. Like I'll watch it because obviously if I'm gonna watch it with my parents or with my grandparents, like alguien que no sabe like entender inglés, like obviously like I'm gonna watch it with like in Spanish, right? But like no es que me pesa, but like I just prefer it in English because I feel like for things that were originally made in English, I feel like I like English. But Spanish.
See, and like growing up también Hispanic, that's another thing. Like you're forced to watch sometimes if you want to spend time with your family and you want to watch a movie with them, you have to watch it in Spanish. And like I think we talked about it that I feel like como Latinos we're very family oriented. So you look for that time. Like yo busco ese tiempo para estar con mi familia y a veces diría que prefiero estar con mi familia que estar con
with your
other people.
Or, like for sure, me too. I think
like going back to when like talking about college, my first year I actually dormed, not really dormed, porque like me fui diciendo que me iba a quedar allá. And then I would just come back every weekend.
Yeah.
Every weekend. Y tenía mis compañeras allá en la escuela, pero I just wanted to be home with my family.
Yeah. And cambio me, like, going back to the strict parents thing, like, a mí creo que they would never have let me, like, dorm.
Oh my gosh. Like, the first day que mi mami me fue a dejar, it was so dramatic. Mami, I love you. crying, me dedicó hasta una canción.
No,
so
really?
Cute. Yeah.
That's so cute. But I think your family just does that a lot, though. Like the songs. Like the song.
Like dedicar canciones.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like yo dedico canciones. I'm just like a dedicator, but I guess it is my family that would just like to dedicate songs.
That's so cute.
Yeah, so it was like llorando,
and then the weekend you were back.
And then the weekend I was back. I think the first time que me fui a quedar, sí me quedé for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Pero ya después de ahí sí, I
want to go home.
I want to go home, yeah. And I had people to talk to. I had my classmates, and me decían like, why are you going back home? Or
stay. Stay. That's so weird. Yeah, porque yo también conocía a alguien that would go home on the weekend, but then it was kind of just weird because you're paying all this money and you want to go home.
And I want to go home. Aunque sí siento que como me quedaba ahí la semana, me ayudó como a dedicarme a estudiar. Porque tenía my own space.
Yeah.
As Hispanics, maybe it's a stereotype. Pero we like to cram. O sea, meternos, ya no sé si tú has visto los memes de cuando se están subiendo un montón a un carro o cuando se están saliendo.
Oh my gosh, I have stories about that. But so I'll tell it right after.
Lo mismo es en la área donde tú vives. So many people viven ahí juntos. Yeah, and you don't have your own space. No. So I think that's one of the things that kind of pushed me, especially my first year, to dorm in college, porque I had my own space. I had a desk.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was to have a desk before, because there wasn't the room for it. It wasn't necessary before. So, so a mí sí siento que even though it could be considered a waste because you didn't really have that experience of dorming, pero para mí siento que igual it wasn't a waste.
Yeah.
Because I had that.
No, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And going back to
the car?
No, yeah, the car, but hold on. No, to the desk thing. Ay, ya se me olvidó lo que iba a decir.
Sorry.
But the desk,
I said de que no era necesaria.
Yeah, and compared to other people who literally have in their home a whole place to do work.
Exactly.
I'm grateful because I didn't have that opportunity. I don't think I had a desk until now. But I would do it in the living room, but it would be the same. Not in the living room, in the kitchen, somewhere. I would do it more somewhere. But it would be the same thing of I'm in this space, but everybody around me is talking and screaming, and my house was just, specifically in college, my house was just busy because my grandparents came to live with us. There was just stuff happening all the time. Yeah. And so that is one thing that I guess I would have wanted to dorm for, because when you're there, everybody's in the same mindset as you. Everybody's trying to get work done. Everybody's thinking about school, So I think that's something that's a plus for dorming. And that's something that people other people maybe don't have to think about, because they have their places there to do their own room. Their own,
I didn't have my own room until I was older.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. So the cramming. So literally in Guatemala, when we would go, we had a minivan, and I'm talking a minivan that would comfortably fit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people, because it was 2 in the front, the driver and the passenger, and then a little one for 2 people, and then the space here, and then atrás tal vez cabían como 3 personas. I'm pretty sure one time we fit 15 people in that car.
Crazy.
And donde vive mi grandma, there's a lot of speed bumps, and they're high for no reason. Not compared to the speed bumps here. And
no, I think it is for a reason, because allá la gente sí maneja
that's
crazy.
True. That's true.
They don't respect the signs, que es un stop sign, un traffic light.
They just beat to go through. Yeah.
Aquí, por ejemplo, la gente que va caminando toma prioridad, por decir allá, se los pasan
run over.
Llevando,
literally, yeah, no, and literally, okay, wait, now I have another story. So literally when we would go over the speed bump, I think we tried to do that once. Y raspó el carro like como no, it was like, and we're like, okay, we can't do it. So for the next one, we would literally get off for every speed bump.
Oh,
se
yeah,
bajaba
a mí
la
me ha
gente
pasado eso
y
también.
después se subía y después se bajaba y se subía
Crazy.
until you were done with the speed bumps.
Yeah.
Okay, and then my other story that you reminded me of is like allá hay like mercados, right? So the one it happened this time that we went. Literally it was like 9 p.m. I don't know where we were going or where we were coming back from, but we drove through the mercado, but like literally we were about to run over people because la gente estaba like, I don't know if you can see like pegada al carro. Like they were just there. Like if you opened your window,
ahí estaba encima,
you
like
could literally touch them.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy. That's nothing. Yo no me atrevo a manejar allá. Nunca.
Yo manejé una vez.
Really?
I was scared. Yeah. Y manejé like, I don't remember si es como 2 horas. Basically de la capital a Zacapa.
Yeah. A long
like
time.
yeah. Manejé and like I remember I was just so scared. Mi tía, like she was the one guiding me because obviously no sabía cómo llegar and she was with me. And like yo solo me acuerdo que ella venía como agarrada and it was not because like I was driving fast or anything like that. It's because like I was a like not experienced driver de allá.
Yeah.
And it's very different porque allá la gente pues también like ¿cómo se llama eso? Really like te pasan.
Oh, they.
Yeah, like te pasan, you know, you could be driving y te rebasan.
Yeah.
Aquí eso no. It's not like a thing.
There were so many near-death experiences I feel like I've had in Guatemala. Because también we were going somewhere otra vez. Y allá ahora ya hay carreteras más, like, grandes, you know, more, I guess, advanced. I don't know.
Yeah, like,
yeah, they fixed it.
Yeah.
But during that time, like, it was just like a two-way. So it was the vía going this way, la vía que iba para allá, barranco aquí y barranco ahí. So literally, like, we were driving normal and there was a truck that was literally coming directly towards us y no podía irse para allá because allá habían carros. So he was trying to rebasarlos. I swear, like, if my dad hadn't moved over, and mind you, there's like a barranco, like right there, but if my dad hadn't moved over, like, I think that truck would have hit us.
Crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It is insane. So yeah, scary. I would never drive in Guatemala. In conclusion, I don't think I would. It's too scary for me. Sí, aquí me pasan.
Oh my god.
Imagínate allá, aquí me pasan cosas sin carros.
Sin ese estilo de manejo, yeah. Crazy.
I would freak out. Okay, so we're getting near the end now. We've been talking for a while.
Oh yeah.
I think it's okay. So, what is your favorite part about being Latin?
I love everything. Everything. Like the language, the music, the food.
Yeah.
Ahorita que mencioné the food, like, me acuerdo, like, so Sundays, like.
De las tripas?
Oh, de las tripas, man.
Yeah, we have, okay.
So what I was gonna say is,
sorry.
like after church on Sundays,
Yeah.
like, the question is, what do we want to eat? Like, do you want to eat Spanish food or do you want to eat American food?
Yeah. Those are the two.
Yeah.
And we always end up eating usually Spanish food.
Yeah. Because of our parents mostly. Because si fuera por ti.
Yeah. No, a veces sí, like, me dan like, I do like Spanish food. I consider myself. I feel like antes, well, it depends. It depends the mood that I'm in. But I do like Spanish food. I do. I like pollo.
No, and the lovely thing about being born here in America is that, like, what?
Nothing. I just thought that was so funny because there are so many more Hispanic things that I could have said.
But you said
I
pollo.
said chicken.
No, but it like, lo que te iba a decir es que the wonderful thing about being born in America is that, yes, we are Guatemalan and we're exposed to Guatemalan things because of our family, pero como hay tantas personas de diferentes países, también like latinoamericanos, that come to this country, we're exposed to all of it.
All of
like,
the
por
foods.
ejemplo, like las baleadas,
Yeah.
pupusas, diferente comida
Yeah.
peruana.
Yeah.
Peruvian food. Exactly. So like we're exposed to a lot.
Yeah, and I think that's something that if you're not Hispanic, you wouldn't really know, or if you don't like associate with anybody that's Hispanic, you wouldn't really know because you would think, oh, they all eat the same thing, right? And I think that's like a stereotype. I don't think we talked about that,
Like,
but they all eat the same thing, but no,
like it's different.
like it is very different.
Or like, yeah, like por ejemplo, like,
and it's good.
Yeah, like si tú hablas con tal vez con un americano y dice like cuando piensan en Spanish food, it's typically like Mexican food, por decir, right?
But it's not.
But it's not.
No.
There's so much more.
Yeah, there's so much more than Mexican food. Although Mexican food is good too.
No, yeah, it is. Food. Yeah, definitely. But there's so much more.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot that comes with being Hispanic.
Music, I love the music in Spanish.
Yeah. Silly. Yeah, I like everything too about being Hispanic. I think yeah, I think everything has shaped us into who we are today. So I'm very thankful for being Hispanic.
I am too.
So then the last question is, how do you think it's going to impact your kids? Or would you do things differently? I guess too.
I don't know. I was
in the culture wise. Like
it's gonna be different even if I don't want it to be different.
That's true.
Porque like my parents were both Guatemalan, right? So that's their culture. Now, me, like, yes, I have that Hispanic culture, but because I was born here, I have the American culture in me, aunque sea un poquito escondido, pero ahí está, you know? So my kids are definitely gonna have that. Y también depende de, like, por ejemplo, la persona con la que yo me vaya a casar, dependiendo de donde sea también. That's
if they're not Guatemalan,
or if they're not even Hispanic, ¿me entiendes? O sea, it's different. They're gonna lose it, siento yo, un poquito.
Yeah, me too. I'm scared. I'm scared in the sense, like, I don't want them to lose it because, like, my parents or my family, like, a pesar que hablo más inglés, de verdad me inculcaban, like, you have to speak Spanish. But I think also because of the opportunities that come out of being bilingual, too, which is obviously good. But, like, I think I want to be like that with my kids, and I'm thinking, like I also speak both languages, so I don't want them to lose that. And then also ahorita, like, me ponía a pensar, like, different cultures. Like, say right now, both of your parents are Guatemalan. Both of my parents are Guatemalan. But, like, I look at my brother, he's Guatemalan, and his wife is Colombian. So it's, like, a different mix there and different cultures. So aún, like, even being Hispanic, like, there's different food. There's still different cultures, different, like, modismos, how do you say, like, different, like, slang that people say, like, within all of these Spanish speaking countries, which also, like, shapes your children. There's different views of life, you know? So that's just crazy. There's a lot. Yeah. So in conclusion,
well, I want to say a couple of things. I know that
no, speak.
Hablando de, like, our experiences, I guess. Like when I was in college.
Yeah, this was wild to me that this happened to you.
So obviously, like, como hablo más español, I write Spanish también, escribo, leo español. Like, my grammar in English isn't the best, I would say. So in college, eso fue lo que me costó un poquito. I was writing this essay, and I wrote this essay.
Do you still have it?
No, I don't have it.
Dang.
And then, like, the professor graded it, and, like, she gave it back. She wrote a note on the paper that said, "Were you born in this country?"
That's crazy.
Like, it's something, like, it's just crazy, you know? Like, y tal vez esto sea otro tema, but, like, I feel nowadays, like, las personas son more sensitive.
Yeah.
We're like growing, like la gente se está criando super sensitive.
Yeah.
Que antes, o sea, que si eso hubiera pasado ahora en día, even though it wasn't even that long ago,
yeah,
like it would have been such a big deal.
It would have been really
like
big.
Yeah, because eso sí, o sea,
yeah, because it's messed up.
It is.
To
it's
write
not
that.
Even professional.
No.
To write that. Like,
yeah.
No.
It's not. It's not okay.
Pero yo en ese tiempo, like, I just like brushed it off. ¿Me entiendes?
And I think a lot of things in our life we were just taught to brush it off, like, because at the end of the day, like, technically we're not from here. Yeah. You know? So it's like, all right, there are things that come with that.
Y esa es otra cosa that, like, I think, like, our parents nos decían, like, when they compare their lives to ours, like everything, like, que pasamos nosotros was so minimal. Like,
it's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal. Like, vieras que cuando yo estaba allá y todo esto lo que pasé, so, like, you learn to be tougher, and you learn to handle things differently.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's really crazy. I don't think I've had an experience like that, and I'm glad I hadn't.
And then también, like, cuando me socializaba con las compañeras de la universidad, like, I was having this conversation, and I don't know how it came about, but, like, we were talking about accents, I think, and then, like, yo dije, yeah, I was born here, and then someone was like, wait, you were born here? And I was like, yeah, and she was like, oh, you really have an accent. Como que, o sea, que, like, I wasn't born here.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Crazy, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
And then cuando hablo y hablando eso, like, okay, so en inglés se me oye un acento. Yeah. Pero también cuando hablo en español, también siento que se me oye un acento. Yeah. So no soy ni de aquí ni de allá.
Yeah, in conclusion, ni de aquí ni de allá. Yeah, because, like, I'm trying to think if I had any. I remember one experience that I had, but I don't know if that's just my mom, like, in the personality, or if that was a culture thing. Because I remember before I had moved to this town, like, I was living in another town, and I was coming out of school. I was, like, in kindergarten, and somebody ran by me. It was a boy. He ran by me, and he, like, hit me, and he knocked me to the ground. And my mom was literally right next to me, and I flipped out. And she called the kid back, and she was like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "You have to be careful." And I don't know what the kid said to her, but the point is, like, she literally, like went to the kid's, like, home with me, and she told his mom what had happened. But, like, I don't know. Now thinking back, like, I don't know if that was, like, if that's, like, a culture thing, like, or if that's just, like, a personality.
Maybe it could be a little bit of both.
A little, yeah. So I think that was the only thing.
Because stereotypically we are categorized as, like, como enojaditas. Yeah. Pienso yo.
Yeah.
Like, little being players. Very intense.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Especially women.
Women.
Or, like, cuando cuando se refieren a una mujer hispana, dicen. Yeah. Es enojada, like, dramática, todo eso.
Yeah. So there's that to it too. But I'm thinking if I like, maybe now, obviously times were different then. I think I could probably get in trouble if I followed somebody home, especially a little boy. But he was literally, like, 3 houses down, so it wasn't even, like, that big of a deal. But yeah, like, I feel like I think I would defend your children in a different way too, because I think a lot of, and that goes back to our families being so close. Not all Hispanics, but, like, a lot of Hispanic families are close, like, and they're there for each other, like, in the moment that you need it, like, like, they fight and everything, but you need them, they're there. And I think that's something that's very nice, and that I would want to, like, give to my children too, to know that, like, family, regardless, is family. So yeah, I think So yeah. So is there anything else?
There's a lot. I think, low-key, I was so scared, like,
for this. Maybe we can do a part 2, or we'll see. Well, we can address those topics. Yeah. You were nervous.
I was nervous. That's what I was gonna say. That I was nervous for this topic because I said, like, is there a lot to say about it? I guess I was scared because, like, I didn't want to, like, be offensive, so I felt like tal vez I would like hold back a lot of things.
Yeah.
But se dio.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and I think at the end of the day, like, it's not like we're not coming from that place to be offensive.
But es que como ahora en día, that's where I was going back to. Like, ahora en día, like, everything
is, you have to be very careful with what you say, especially that we're posting this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think we were good.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, okay. So, kind of now concluding the whole thing. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, what is one thing that you learned this week?
Healing is a choice.
Yeah.
Because, there's a saying, like, time heals all wounds.
Yeah.
And I think that time that I, like, kind of more, like, ignore, like, to live with. But, like, el tiempo puede pasar, but you're actually not healing.
Yeah.
Like, if you really, like, look at it, you could still be con ese wound, estar dolida, ¿me entiendes? So I think that it's different to choose to heal. And it's an action. Like, you have to want it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it looks different for everybody. Healing. You could, like, heal, like, literally, this is time heals all wounds. Healing could take time.
It does. Definitely healing takes time. No one sana de la noche a la
mañana. No. So I think it's just like it's just different process. It's a different process for everybody. But I think it's a choice. I like that. For me, I forgot what I said I was gonna say. Oh yeah, I remembered. Okay, so for me, it's being humble is so important. Because it's just so important. Like, for me, I was signed up. I think I told you I was signed up to do a program where I was going to help people, like, through my school. I'm not gonna say names because that's not smart. But so I went to this meeting, and there's I guess a stereotype that lawyers are just, I think, not humble and arrogant. Like, very arrogant. And unfortunately, there were a couple of professors at this meeting who were like that, and it turned me off of the whole process completely because I just didn't want to be in that environment. And like, they were just very arrogant, and it's just sad to see that those were the type of people helping. So it was like in an immigration clinic, where they were going to, I really hope this doesn't get on the wrong side of social media, but where they were going to, like, help these people with their process. And some of the people there were just, maybe because they were short on time, like, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, maybe because they were short on time for the meeting and everything, but they didn't seem like they genuinely cared. They seemed like they were doing it, and they seemed like they were doing it for them to feel good. Like they were helping, that they were doing their part. And that could have been, maybe I'm completely wrong, but it's just sad to see that was the first, like, those type of people are the people that these people coming in are seeing. Like, I feel like coming as an immigrant to a country is difficult enough, especially when they're, like, asylum seekers. They're coming from something that happened in their country. And for them to, like, for that to be one of the things that they're exposed to, like, right off the bat, is very difficult. I didn't see these people acting with, I guess, the immigrants who were coming in. So they could have had, like, a completely different attitude towards it. But it's just sad, like, anybody who has been in higher education and anybody who's gone through college or has gone through, like, graduate school or anything like that, I just think, just remember, like, where you came from.
Exactly.
Especially as a Hispanic, like, never forget where you came from. Just because you have a title, just because you've gone through all of this, like, schooling and everything, doesn't make you better than anybody. And a lot of the times through education, like, people lose normal people values. Like, yeah, like maybe I have a better education, or maybe you have a better education than me, but like we're still people, and there are certain things that you have to like know how to do, like be compassionate, be understanding, be humble, So
For
yeah,
sure.
that I'm a little scared that I said that, but I hope.
No, I don't think.
I mean,
that's
like I'm
yeah.
not bashing anybody. I'm just saying, like, be humble.
Yeah.
Like, there's no need for you to think that you're better just because, like, maybe you're in a higher position, you know?
Sí.
Just be humble. And it inspired me to be humble because, like, I'm going through this schooling, like I just don't want to be that type of person. I don't want to be that type of person, and being that type of person looks really like bad. So just don't be that type of person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you.
That's another Hispanic thing.
That's another. The multiple sneezes.
The multiple sneezes.
Yeah. Yeah. So
that's really nice.
Yeah.
No, that's very true.
So that was what I learned today. I feel like I ranted a little bit about that, but I mean, it's something that I saw this week that just kind of impacted me. So, like we did last week, we wanted to end with a verse, right?
Two verses.
Two verses, and just kind of like dealing with like identity and
such a huge crisis.
Such a huge crisis
nowadays.
Yeah. And being specifically like connected to like Hispanics, like if you're a Hispanic, even the saying like ni de aquí ni de allá, like you don't know where you stand. But I think knowing that you're not, like, you still belong somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you just have to find your place. So we're gonna read two verses.
And you were thoughtfully made.
Yeah, you were thoughtfully made.
Exactly.
Yeah. There was another verse that said that, but now I don't remember it.
It's okay.
Okay, so the first verse is Jeremiah 1:5. We said, right? Jeremiah 1:5. And it said, I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. Before you were born, I set you apart and appointed you as my prophet to the nation. There are easier versions to read, but if you're interested in that, that's Jeremiah 1:5. And in Spanish, it's
es Jeremías 1:5 y dice, antes de darte la vida, ya te había yo escogido. Antes de que nacieras, ya te había yo apartado. Te había destinado a ser profeta de las naciones.
Yeah. And then the second one is 1 Peter 2:9. And it says, but you were a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his wonderful light.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. And then
en español es 1 de Pedro 2:9. Pero ustedes son un pueblo elegido por Dios, sacerdotes al servicio del Rey, una nación santa y un pueblo que pertenece a Dios. Él los eligió para que anuncien las poderosas obras de aquel que los llamó a salir de la oscuridad para entrar en su luz maravillosa.
Oh, it's so beautiful. That was so much longer in Spanish than in English.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
Para decir una cosa, like en español es...
It's complicated, yeah. I could decir like mil.
Mil, yeah. Inglés es más directo.
Yeah, that's why I speak English. I'm just kidding. No, yeah.
Yeah. So, thank you guys if you've been with us for this time.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we talked a lot.
We did. Thank you guys for your support. For those who are supporting us, subscribe to our YouTube channel. What is it? Like Breakfast Chats?
It's either Like Breakfast Chats or Like BF Chats. But it has a little egg picture.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, and comment what you learned this week or what made you happy this week if you watch it. So those
or if you've had any experiences también de haber nacido, de ser hispano y haber nacido acá. let us know.
Let us know.
We will be reading.
Yeah, we will be reading, and then if we make it like a part, if we talk about it again,
yeah,
right,
we'll
at
see.
some point.
I mean, I think it's bound to happen just because it is who we are.
Yeah, that's true. I think so too. But yeah.
Alrighty. Thank you.
Bye.